just look at some of the other stories making the news tonight. And the Home Secretary has announced plans to give the police more powers to check what people are doing online. Internet providers would have to keep records of people's basic online history and then hand it over to the authorities if required. All part of a sweep.
Who gives a shit? Well, you should, quite frankly. You see, from December 31st onwards, the government has started forcing web and phone companies to start recording your communications and data. Yes, your communications and data. Yeah, you. You're watching this, right? I should be clear about what exactly is being collected. The government says that it's not interested in what you're saying, rather the when, how, and where the communication is being made, and by whom. So the spies know who you spoke to, but not what you said. That information will be stored by the provider for 12 months and released to the government, suppose they need it, and if they provide proportionate and justified evidence. There's no definition of what is considered justified and proportionate, but the person making that decision will be a senior judge in a newly appointed role of Investigatory Powers Commissioner, who is appointed by the serving Prime Minister. And by government agency, I'm not just talking about those fighting terrorism, alright? I'm talking about the Food Standards Agency, the Department for Work and Pensions, HMRC, and anyone else can make requests. They're not fighting terrorism, so why? Now, no one's suggesting that the government's going to use this information for anything other than fighting terrorism, but the law does legally allow them to spy on you for any other reason. In my experience, relying on the benevolence of those in charge doesn't usually end well. Best before April 2016. The other bit you need to know about is equipment interference. In other words, hacking, which the government can now legally do to your phone, chatting apps and computer. To do this properly, companies like WhatsApp need to provide a backdoor into their services. Without it, they're completely blind because WhatsApp and other services have end-to-end encryption, which is almost impossible to decipher. The problem is, if there's a backdoor, shady people might find it. This isn't indiscriminate though. The government isn't some cartoon villain reading your text messages for shits and giggles. The way we communicate is constantly and rapidly changing, and the government needs to keep up to that. New encrypted messaging services that pop up by the day could provide safe havens for terrorists to plan and organise attacks. But we as a society need to decide where the balance is between piracy and security. Some say this is a step too far, and others think it's reasonable. What do you think?